How long gone? We're back, baby. Chris Black coming to you from, actually, Jason, your home turf, Laguna Beach, California.
Laguna. I thought you were going to say Laguna Niguel.
I'm not going to say that. I mean, that's where I am, but I wasn't going to say that. I feel like it's too specific.
Really? No way.
Really, way.
So you are on holiday still. Wow. Where do you have the audacity to do that, bro?
I wish I wasn't, but today is the final day, and as I sit in the Ritz-Carlton suite overlooking the ocean, I see all the surfers. I'm starting to get the appeal of surfing.
Oh, really? Okay. Say more.
Yesterday I was out at the beach watching these guys fucking rip, and they just had so much joy on their face. Mm-hmm. And I was like, damn, it really is, sometimes it'd be the simple things in life, just living in a multi-million-dollar home in a gated community near the water. Mm-hmm. What more do you need,
Okay, so while you were watching these shredders with joy on their face at the Ritz-Carlton Laguna Niguel, what a beautiful property. What were you doing to kind of pass the time?
I was reading. I finished the Gwyneth Paltrow biography. That was, there's a lot of Gwyneth information there. I would categorize it as dry as toast overall. But I did learn yesterday while watching these hotties in their wetsuits. I just didn't realize how many flop movies Gwyneth Paltrow had been in. Like, it's I had no idea, because I don't really, I know that you only know the highlights, of course, you know what I mean? But there's like 30 movies that are mentioned in this book that I've just like, wow, I didn't know that even. Who knew?
So she's a flopper. Like, over under on the movies that she's done being successes, what? 10% of them have been memorable ones.
Yeah, but once you win an Oscar, you know what I mean? It's like it almost doesn't matter, kind of, like, because forever
I'm starting from the bottom. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean,
forever you'll be referred to as Oscar-winning actress. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, she was in the original Hook. She was in Seven. That was probably her biggest, at that age. Then, a bunch of little stinkers, Great Expectations, Shakespeare in Love, Dogma, Ripley.
Well, I didn't realize also
she was coming alive mid-late 90s.
Ripley was a flop. Like, it bombed.
Really?
It became like a cult classic, like, style icon movie throughout the years.
It was a DVD one. DVD hit.
It was a Blu-ray hit. It didn't really.
I mean, not
knock the
joking,
socks
being
off.
for real. Back then, you could have a movie flop and then become a cult classic because somebody had the video, and then you would just, we got 12 videos. We're just gonna watch.
We're gonna keep these going in a circle.
I watched a lot of Cable Guy when I was a kid,
just because you had the DVD.
Just because we had it. It was that and Martin Lawrence, You So Crazy stand up.
Sure.
As well as the Up in Smoke tour.
Of course. You are from Southern California. It'd be kind of crazy if you didn't have that one. Anyway, but so I finished that and watched these guys surf, and then every morning you wake up, you look out, they're out there. It's interesting though, because I always thought surfing was like an early morning thing, but there are people out here catching waves all day long, and it seems to be pretty good, I guess, surf wise.
Yeah, I mean, you can get tasty any time of the day, but I think people like to go out in the morning because that's when you get the peace and the solitude, and then also certain good waves as well.
Yeah, of course.
It's not too hot yet.
Yeah, good point. Okay.
I've always wished that I had whatever it took to do that, which is whatever the opposite of having a fear of the ocean killing you is. I think that's one of the biggest hurdles to get.
I'm not scared of the ocean. I'm not scared of the ocean. I'm scared of the vibes. Kind of is what I'm. It's.
Which vibes are you scared of, bitch?
The vibes of, like, I'm not really good. I have a short fuse, and I know some of these guys can get.
You're gonna get dropped in on, and you don't know if you'll be able to.
I think I would be the one.
Handle. I can't trust myself.
I think I'd be the one.
I'd
be the one making the error more so than it being committed.
Okay.
But
you would block someone's right hand.
Exactly, and then they would come at me, and then I would get in a fight in the ocean, which is obviously not becoming for anyone.
You've never scrapped in water, have you?
I haven't. I don't think many people.
You ever fought someone where your feet aren't touching the ground?
Yeah. Only once or twice in a bathtub, never in the ocean. So it's going to be an interesting.
Maybe a roller. The roller coaster where you hang. Ninja. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. There's also a lot of people out here with their metal detectors, which I could see you getting into that later in life.
Funny you say that. I was literally in the ocean in Greece, a little bit better than Laguna, not a big deal. And I was telling Carolyn, just like, damn, I wouldn't kill, but it sure would be nice right now to have an MD on me, because after a while, like we were saying, there's not much you can do on the beach. You lay there, you get a tan, you flip over, you see her one side, you see her the other. You got a book, you go in the water. Without surfing, there isn't really much else you can do. Like you said, snorkels are for children, right?
Oh, snorkels are for children. That wanting to see wildlife in the ocean it's 18 and under for me. It's 18 and under for me.
Wanting to explore the gifts of the sea, that is an 18 and under activity.
The only gifts of the sea I'm looking to explore are at Nobu. I ain't trying to. I ain't trying to explore. I ain't trying to get my feet nibbled.
Unless I could dip it in some ponzu, I don't really need to explore it. But
exactly.
Well, one thing, and I'll move on. Carolyn brought some goggles. We had the little mirror finish Speedos when we were out there, and I had never really used them in the ocean too much, but I don't really care. I mean, I went in the water and I looked down and I'm like, guess what? More sand. And you see a little fish here and there.
Yeah, it's not like you're seeing. Yeah, you're not seeing the great coral reefs. You know what I'm saying? It's not that good. Most places.
Like, oh, that's a peculiar looking rock, whatever it might be. But just having the goggles on and being able to see clearly without the kind of like annoyance of like salt water kind of stinging your eyes and getting a little cloudy and blah blah blah, it relaxed me in the sea, and it made me kind of breathe easily, and I felt like I could stay underwater almost twice as long.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, all that's real, but why do I need to be underwater twice as long? That's my whole point. I want to get in there
because you don't want this dream to ever stop, bro.
Yeah, that's what it is. I just don't want this dream to ever stop. Yeah, I mean, we've been off for a week. A lot has happened. I mean, a lot has transpired.
Sure.
And I just I don't even know. I did want to tell you quickly before we really get into Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce and Steve Lacy's bad new song. I went to Bandera last night.
Bandera, which is the Hillstone property, which focuses on more Latin American flavors.
Yes, which is interesting because I didn't know a cheeseburger had any Latin American flavors.
Did they put chiles on it?
I didn't. I had a Seattle style salmon that was delicious. Actually, it was just grilled, is what I believe Seattle style. I didn't know.
Wait, it was literally called Seattle style salmon?
Literally called Seattle style. We looked it up, and it basically just means barbecued.
Okay. That's pretty stupid.
Very stupid. But I ran into a friend of the show and former co-host of yours, the Fat Jew. And he was there with his family. And I was like, what the fuck are you guys doing here? And he's like, oh, actually, we're trying to go to every Hillstone property in America. And he pulled up a notes app list of all of the Hillstone properties in America, and he had check marks by the one that he and his family had been to, and they had been to like 28 of 34.
Oh, wow. So we're closing in on it, huh?
We're closing in.
Was he doing a bang for Gulfstream and Bandera down there?
He had already been to Gulfstream. I guess his wife's family lives near here, so he's been here a few times in the region, but he said he's going to have to make a special trip.
I can't wait to get that rich and bored where I'm just like...
he's like, all right, well, yeah, we got to go to NorCal, which isn't my favorite, but there's several up there I got to check off. So it was a really...
I mean, I would rather have I guess it's like it's the Disney adult son or Hillstone adult daughter. I don't know which one's worse.
It was a really funny,
Disney's worse.
And he really knew what he was talking about, but somehow it was fun, and I was really.
Were you able? We should get the Fat Jew on How Long Gone when he completes the journey, so to see.
Yeah, and then we can talk. Yeah, we can go through it. Yeah,
I mean, how many pounds of fat on your body are made out of spinach and artichoke dip, for example?
I mean, at Bandera, they don't even offer that. So
they have a spinach and avocado dip. It's called a guacamole.
They have a guacamole, but then they had something called queso, which in my life in the South at Elmira, queso was a hot white cheese. And you dip it. This shit was given more pimento, if I'm keeping it a buck.
So the queso was more orange in color than white, is what you're saying.
Yeah, but it also wasn't. Yeah, it was like chunky.
Okay. So you wanted a smooth white boy.
Well, I mean, as a smooth white boy, I love.
Honestly, what's whiter, the queso in Orange County or the queso in Atlanta?
I think somehow I think the queso in Atlanta, but I
Do
didn't.
y'all have queso? Okay, the dip duo, jalapeno
The dip
queso
duo.
and guacamole served with warm tortilla chips. Okay.
Yeah, and they're really cheap with the tortilla chips, and they know you're going to get more. So I feel like they try to impress you with the speed in which they deliver the second round of chips, but they've set you up because they don't give you enough chips for the dips.
Interesting. So they know, and they're like, so it's a little bait and switch. It's a little cat and mouse. These are the little hills. You're reading between the lines, in between the lines right now on these little Hillstone hacks. This is the type of shit that the fat Jew don't know about.
I can't even help myself, Jason. This is how I go through life. It's a nightmare.
No, you just do it. You go through, and me and my team just sit in the other room. You know, they've got the mirror wall. You think it's a mirror, but no, we see it, and we all got clipboards, and we're studying you in your ass. You're like,
All right,
he's
Mr.
probably
Mr. Black.
Ooh, Mr. Black. The artichokes are gone for the season, aren't they, Chris?
They really push the artichoke there. I'm good on artichokes. Too much work for too little payoff.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Bandera menu right now. It does not really seem to differ from Houston's.
It does actually. It does more than I thought it would, to be honest, because it doesn't have sushi. The coconut shrimp sushi. The coconut shrimp sushi at Hillstone is a delicacy that should be celebrated at every location.
Sure.
And I also was presenting an idea last night that every restaurant within reason should offer chips and guacamole as a starter.
Within reason is a big asterisk, though.
Well, I just mean like obviously not like in any restaurant that is serving Mexican or American fare.
Okay.
I think that a chips and guacamole on the menu. Like I don't want it at the omakase, obviously, but I think any place that is Mexican or American dining should have that as an option with the Caesar salad. I don't see why it's not there. It's obviously hard to perfect, but easy to make.
I've found that whenever you're doing some poolside or some beachside dining, it almost always will be a little chip and guac. But do you believe in the free chips and salsa at the Mexican restaurant, or do you want to pay for it and get the guac?
Oh, wow, that's a great question. I mean,
because I was actually thinking about the free chips and guac this morning. Like you go to like a Taco Bell, you got to pay for the chips. You know, they're obviously very cheap and they're not very good. But then when you go to like the El Torito or the Acapulco or the Chevy's or something like that, where they give you the free chips and guac, it seems counterproductive to load you up on the free shit. So when it's time to order the shrimp fajita platter,
you're feeling a little full already.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of when you go to an all you can eat sushi restaurant and there's no sashimi. They load you up on rice just to get your fat ass out of there.
Just rice. Get out of here.
And then everyone's got the auntie with the rice inside the Michael Kors.
You already know I got the rice in my coach. Don't play with me. This goes back to me to the trend of charging for bread service, you know? And it's like I'm obviously going to pay $5 or $8 for, you know, a baguette and focaccia in a basket, but you do look at it differently if you pay for it. I think there is a psychology element to it.
Yeah, and I think that some places I'd like there to be a little bit more experimentation with the bread and butter, because usually bread and butter is always going to be the most memorable thing that you eat in that meal, probably the most satisfying.
So you want them to freak it. You want them to go seaweed butter like down in Nashville. You want a little something.
I want it not so much the seaweed butter, but I want it to have a little bit more of like, treat it like the wine list, and there's like a bread sommelier type of thing where there's more than one option. If you really love bread and butter, you know, if you don't give a fuck, you know, bring me the free shit, bring me a couple rolls and some of that regular butter, that's fine, I don't care about it. But if you're a real fiend for it, you know, I would like to see an $18 loaf with a trio of French butters brought out. I would pay money for that.
Show me an $18 loaf, and I'll show you my credit card. Let's go. Yeah. $18
Get some
loaf
Seattle style sourdough.
Yes, it's got the grill marks on it.
Yeah, but I mean, because it seems stupid that you would go to a restaurant and just eat bread and butter.
True.
But you know, if you're able to make bread and butter that good at home, go for it. But you can't, bitch.
I've been eating it kind of. I've eaten a lot of foods I don't normally eat on this trip.
Have those foods been desserts? Are you
No, I'm off.
Are you
I'm
being
clean.
forced to diversify? How many days you got now?
I mean, here, let me. Yeah, I'll be honest with you and the listener.
Honestly, this is what people pay the good money for.
They're paying the good money. So we went to Bell's in Los Alamos, which I loved. The whole experience was amazing. I had gazpacho, I had uni, I had all kinds of shit I don't normally eat.
Wow.
But because it was a prefixed thing, the dessert, I had no choice. You know, I felt like I had no choice. They'd been so nice to us, I couldn't leave it on the plate. But otherwise, no dessert at all in the past, I would say 3 weeks.
Okay. And be honest, were you hoping that the dessert was going to be an offering that you did not really care much for?
Well, there were 2 or 3 options.
Because when you get the okay.
And
okay.
all of
sometimes you go, it's like
yeah.
tart tatin, hot fudge sundae, and then it's like the rosemary lemon cookie, and you're like, okay, this is that I can live without.
The dessert was in like an almond cake that was fucking delicious with some chocolate gelato. It was banging. But I wanted to mention, because afterwards it was a 40-minute drive back to the Ritz in Santa Barbara, and it was bringing me back to Stissing House, where it felt dangerous to drive that far after a meal like that. And I was like, this needs to be researched, because it's like the next day I had a headache. My eyes hurt from like concentrating so hard driving, because there's so much construction on the way back. I'm trying to go 95. There's construction. I'm full. My vision is it was just
and you're dead sober too. Just imagine what it's like for those of
I'm
us
not gonna
who-
lie. I did have a little swig of non-alcoholic, kombucha of some kind, But otherwise, I'm clean, bro. I'm good. I'm clean. I'm not riding dirty.
This is an interesting thing, because there's Stissing House in New York, there's Harbor House in Northern California, and then you've got Bell's in kind of whatever Santa Barbara County,
Los Alamos,
low mid California. And I wonder, are these places designed to be exclusive in a certain way, or are they designed for you to stay at their property or in and around that neighborhood? Because it's tough, because none of these restaurants are like, I'm going to like book a hotel around this meal.
There's no restaurant
right on the cover.
that I would book a hotel room around. But I agree.
I mean, they're like, they say the 3 Michelin stars means this is a restaurant that you would plan your travel around. And there are, there's people who I'm going to go to Chez Panisse, I'm going to get a bed and breakfast or a little Airbnb nearby and blah, blah, blah. But those places, they're so close, but they're so far.
Yeah,
like
true.
Stissing is so close and so far. But that drive, when you're going there, full of excitement.
Oh, the anticipation. Oh my God, it's unbelievable. And then when you're leaving, you're like, I can't believe I have to do this. Your chick is asleep next to you in the car. You can't turn on Joe Budden because it'll fuck up her sleep. She'll know somehow.
Yeah, you
can't.
Can't play Budden. You have to listen to your little Soul Asylum in peace.
Exactly. I gotta listen to my little.
Because they.
Well, this is what.
Sorry, go ahead.
But that's what was funny about Bell's when I was talking to them. They were like, "Oh yeah, people come here and eat lunch. Like, it's very common for someone to eat lunch here and eat dinner here on the same day."
And there's another restaurant there, right? That's
they have
name
like
is Bar La Côte.
Yeah, they have like 4 or 5 restaurants in the general area. So, but I was like, wow, the idea of I mean, I know the menu is very different, and I get that, but I just don't know if I could do that, even if I was a true food blogger or something. I don't know why. It just seemed crazy to me.
Even for me as well. But I like the idea that those places, it does really separate the men from the boys or whatever, just in terms of people, hopefully people who care about the food and are excited to eat it.
True.
More so than, this is a Instagrammable, TikTokable, I'm going to order it and eat it in my car. And, they don't treat it as much of an opportunity for content as they do like, this is a restaurant that I want to go eat at.
I didn't see anybody taking a picture of food the whole time we were there. To be honest with you, which is rare. I mean, I barely noticed it anymore.
It would have been different if I was there
because it's so common. I mean, I guess Alex took a picture of her gazpacho because it had an edible flower in it that she was excited about. But anyway, so let's let's talk about the Taylor rollout. Let's talk about the importance of podcasting, not only, Jason, in the presidential election, but also in getting a #1 record. And I did not. Luckily, I was unable to watch any clips of Taylor on her boyfriend's podcast that he does with his brother.
But you did listen to it on Apple Podcasts, though?
Well, of course, every second of it, yeah, of course. But I just I think it's really an opportunity for someone like the devil to really show their human side, and I think that it's even more. It's just the whole thing is.
You're talking is Taylor Swift the devil in this equation?
Sure, Taylor Swift is the devil, and she is using this
the same way that Benjamin Netanyahu will go on Theo Vaughn's podcast to humanize.
Yes,
and so Taylor Swift, the other embodiment of Beelzebub or whatever demonic form she has taken, she's able to go on the show, and then Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce are like, "Do you like ranch?"
Yeah, it's. I also saw
like,
somebody.
Yeah, so good.
I saw somebody say that that no, like for people who had never listened to that podcast before, which is obviously millions of people that are Taylor Swift fans, they were like, "Oh, I didn't realize Travis was the stupid brother." which is really fucking funny because I didn't either. I never thought about it really.
So is this
but
because the other brother, since he's less successful, less good looking, he may have an air of dumbass on him that is undeserved?
Yeah.
Does he just simply look dumber?
He does, actually. He does simply look
he does.
a little squattier.
And then when I saw Travis on the GQ cover, I was like, oh, there's a new dumb brother in town.
Are you talking about Bayou Daddy? I'm
talking about Bayou Daddy.
I really love the picture of him on the. What are those things called when it like shoots water so you're hovering in the air? I don't know what they're
or something like that.
I don't know what they're called, but that is sick, and I really want to do it.
I remember when I first saw that technology, 20, 25 years ago when you were younger and you'd see experimental clips of it and you'd be like, this is cool. And now it's nice to see the technology perfected enough to where, this $1 billion person whose body is protected by the CIA to further the advancement of our civilization. Good enough for him, you know what I mean? So it's nice.
The problem with Travis, I mean, there's many problems, but it's the main problem for me is his hair, and I just think he looked cooler when he was in a relationship with a black woman. He had the tight fade. He was keeping it. He might have been wearing more bad jewelry, but he had the tight fade. Taylor's got him on this sort of like hockey player flow. I just don't. The hair is really tough for me to get past.
But to be fair, you also think that most men look better with a trimmed cut than.
No. I think some guys look great with long hair. I just think that a professional athlete, I don't know. He just doesn't. It doesn't look natural on him. Having a fade look more natural. That's what I'll say.
I agree with that completely. So did you listen to any of it at all? I did not listen to it.
No, not one word. No, not one word. But I read about it. I read many not even about like what was said, but like about what it means, and like how like the strategy, because people love to debate the strategy of like a rollout, and I think we've hit rollout fatigue in many ways, and we've seen it not work several times. But this, I mean, the album is produced by Max Martin and Shellback, which means we're probably going to get some actual hits. And the cover is Merton Marcus, and it looks like a Love magazine cover from like 2010, like exactly like it.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't. I don't know, man. I don't know how much there is to. How much more can we analyze Taylor Swift? What more is there? It's. I don't know if we're ever gonna get to the bottom of it. Let's say.
What is it about her that makes us so, or is it the music that she makes and the persona that she has created just seems to appeal to this specific group of conspiratorial white women? That group just loves analyzing everything, finding the cryptology and the numerology and the colors, and people, basically they're saying, she's single-handedly kept millions of white women away from QAnon. those who are easily susceptible to, this type of obsession and distraction from your everyday life that you hate.
They're not wrong. I mean, they're not wrong, but I just don't think. But that's the thing. If it was just fans sort of debating this endlessly and like looking for signs all the time, it'd be one thing. But it's grown men. It's grown men. It's fucking grandparents. It's truly a global phenomenon of people looking for clues and trying to unpack things and I would say overly interested in her life and her output.
Yeah, and people used to be vigilant about this stuff. And if you were just someone's dad and your daughters and your wife were all into Taylor Swift, and you would just be like, all right, you all have fun. I'm going to go in the garage.
Yeah,
and
now
nowadays
it's like,
they're like, well, what do you think?
Let me make you some bracelets. Bro, as soon as dads start making bracelets and they send a photographer for the New York Times to take pictures of the dads in the parking lot, it's gone too far.
Yeah.
It's gone too. My parents dropped my ass off. Whatever it was, they dropped me off because they had better things to do.
Unless you're using that Taylor Swift knowledge to get a piece of pussy, like you'll see a little meme every once in a while. A girl will, a female would say something like, I'm about to, just like some crazy sports, the ERA rating of Shohani or whatever, into some dick.
Sure.
Like, are there dudes out there who are going to be like, I'm about to Dead Poets parking lot my way into some pussy? Does that happen, do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is the whole thing. There's a whole article about this week, the performative male. It's definitely, I mean, this is a less offensive version than like, keeping a Joan Didion book in your back pocket and having a Labubu on your fucking Trader Joe's tote bag. Mm-hmm. But it's not, this is what everybody does. Anybody will do anything, especially men, to get women to notice them. Even if that's performative feminism, if that's faux, what do you listen to? Obviously Clairo. But I think it's the same thing. Like pretending to like Taylor Swift, or at least pretending to know about it.
I guess the problem is, what do you do when people actually like it? What do you do?
It's tough.
If you're if you're the guy who actually likes and listens to Clairo earnestly, do you have to hide that?
I'm out and proud as a Clairo supporter, but
I'll ask our nation's women, what do you want from us? What do you want from us? You will ridicule us as being these brain dead dogs who just want to watch football, drink beer, talk about tits, and then guess what? You shamed us. Now we're reading the books that you want us to read, going to the places you want us to go to, wearing the clothes. We don't want to wear this shit.
You think I want to wear a crop t-shirt and baggy jeans? Hell no. I don't want to do this. I don't have a choice. We're listening
to sensitive artistic music that you want, and now what? We're performative, creepy manipulators. Which one do you want?
Can't win. I thought I could just enjoy my iced matcha latte, but no. It's a symbol. It's a sign. It's saying something.
I'm drinking a matcha right now, iced matcha right now. I have to do it behind closed doors, or else I'll be accused of something.
Exactly. When we went to when we were driving from Santa Barbara to Laguna, I needed a coffee, and Maru was kind of on the way. So we stopped there, and I was reminded of a certain kind of man that you just don't see as much in New York, and they're ordering the oat matcha latte and sitting out. They have the little mustache. Mm-hmm. They have the crop shirt. They're wearing boots in the summer with baggy jeans, and they are looking to get chos out in front of that coffee shop.
Which Mario?
The original, the
Hillhurst.
The Hillhurst, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that they're a little bit more prevalent here in LA than it is in New York, but I would also push back and say those dudes exist in New York.
Oh, they definitely
all over the fucking place. It is not unique only to Los Angeles.
What I'm saying is it feels more concentrated in Los Angeles at certain places, whereas New York, you see those bozos everywhere you turn.
Well, that's
what
and that's not the fault of any city.
No.
It's just simply a geographical fact.
Simply.
New York is just an island, a big old island, and you're gonna catch a crop top mustachioed matcha slurper around any corner, whereas the ones in Los Angeles, they're not going to be hanging out all over the place. They're going to be in 3 or 4 little strongholds.
You're right. There's only 3 or 4 places where they're going to be accepted.
Yeah. be accepted.
allowed to exist.
Yeah, this is something I was thinking about. I was listening to a pod a couple days ago. They were talking about Haas Duck Biet. It was Eddie Wong's podcast, and they were talking about how I haven't been there yet. It's a restaurant you've heard of before, right? It's a very well known.
I've been. I photographed them for Interview Magazine.
I've been wanting to go.
I've been before
hopefully
service.
I'll go.
We can go if you do. You want to go? We can do that.
I'll be there. Obviously, I'll be there next week, but then I think I'm going to be there again first week of September for.
But unfortunately, you have to. The seating is not my favorite. It's like basically like a bar.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like so small, but whatever.
They were talking about how the food is amazing. It's so good. It's so interesting and unique and thoughtful. And what they're cranking out of this little place is very impressive. But then they kind of proceeded to talk shit on how the crowd is just, it was insufferable kind of TikToker, Instagram-y people.
Yeah, have you been to a restaurant? Like, what the fuck? That's what it is.
Some restaurants are more like that than others, and then because of the layout of the space, it feels a little more or less invasive than other places. You know what I mean? Like, if you're in a Bandera, you're segregated into little booths, and you can have convos, and you're comfortable in breathing room. Some places, you're just a bunch of little two-tops crammed on top of each other. You feel like other people are hearing your convo and vice versa, and it creates an environment that's less than comfortable.
If you're going to a restaurant in Dime Square, I think you kind of know what you're getting into. That's what I'll say about that.
Yeah,
like
I agree with that.
It's impossible to avoid, and it's also like, I mean, that's every restaurant you go to that, unless it's like you're saying, unless it's like a 3 Michelin star. We're going to 11 Madison Park now because I can get a fucking steak. It's a little. You're not gonna get there. There's a
ain't
price
no
point
kohlrabi steak in this bitch now.
We got real steak. We got real steak. We want to make some money.
It had me wondering. Like you just said, there's nothing you can do about it. If you're a hot, cool restaurant, those types of people are going to descend onto your business, whether you like them or not. Whether you want them to or not, and it's a very hard thing to control. And I think whoever, those are the types of questions in the food world that I'm more interested in, because it sounds more fun than like, how are we gonna do a new version of a crudo or whatever.
Well, the problem is you have to make money to stay open as a restaurant, and it's really, I think that most people are more concerned with staying in business than turning people away because they don't like their outfit or the way they behave, which is, I mean, there are merits to both things, but I think if we want these places to stay in business, we might have to dine next to someone who uses their phone light 16 times before the meal is over. I think that's just what you have to, if you want the restaurant in business, I think you have to accept there's some of that involved, whether it's, even though it sucks.
I think there's always going to be some of that. But I think the problem is what happens when it's almost entirely that. And then all the cool people that you want to go to your restaurant are all telling their cool friends, yes, the food's amazing, yes, blah, 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 but I just can't be in that room in good conscience. I feel as if I'm too cool to be in this room right now.
I've literally never felt like that, though.
Really?
Like I'm not there to feel cool. I'm there to eat.
I guess you don't have like a foodie reputation as much as other people might,
What do you mean? Like you can't be seen there because of the crowd, even if you want to eat there?
Yeah. Like you've never been embarrassed to be in a restaurant?
No, who gives a fuck? I mean, I mean, if people are embarrassing themselves, that's not my problem.
Have you ever been too embarrassed to be in like a nightclub or a bar? Like you walk into Ray's and you're like, I can't be here. I can't be seen here. I got to get the fuck out. Have you ever felt that?
No, because it's just funny.
Okay.
Like I look at that more as a funny study in the way people I don't like behave. I don't think it reflects poorly on me. I think it only reflects poorly on them.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
It does. It makes sense. It's interesting. But I wouldn't say it comes as a surprise, but because it seems like you only go to very cool places, but you're a regular guy at the end of the day.
Well, I don't need to go to, but I also don't have any reason to go to like Le Dive. Like I don't drink champagne. I don't need, a lot of those places I have no use for. That being said, I do feel more comfortable in a Bandera than maybe, I'd rather see like fucking thin blue line freaks having spinach dip than Benson Boone looking guys having Negronis. You know what I mean? It's if you have to pick one.
Yeah. Four guys
I think,
splitting.
unfortunately, we have to pick
four
one.
guys splitting the spring peas.
Yeah, I mean that's literally us. But yeah, I mean,
so this sauce is all tofu. Oh, okay.
This is crazy. I knew they were in season. Wow.
It makes me wish. Or I guess I reminisce the days of when I was working the door at Cinespace, and I literally was the judge of who was allowed to come in and who was not. And I wish that restaurants had a little bit more of that, and a little bit less of just like whoever, just like the first people who are able to buy Supreme or concert tickets or whatever. It's just whoever is able to wait on a virtual Resi line and, hit the refresh button a zillion times and get the res and take photos of it. Like,
but what I'm saying to you,
do those people deserve to be there?
What I'm saying to you is, if you have money, you deserve to be there because the restaurant has to stay in business, and every restaurateur only complains about how hard it is to stay in business. Mm-hmm. So if they're looking at people's Instagram profiles to decide if they can eat there, I do think that that could affect the bottom line.
It could, but I would say at what cost? In a good way, at the cost of potentially creating a business that will last decades.
But no business is going to last decades. That's what I'm saying. Like we could go in Dan Tana's and it's going to be full of shitheads, as well as like producers that have always gone there, and us. You know what I mean? Like a place is going to last if it's good, and it doesn't matter is what I'm trying to say. Like if you really want to last, it's not going to be because you turn people away. It's because you kind of maintain a high level of quality for a long time. And even then it might not work.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I could really think of is, like you were talking about before with Stissing House or Harbor House or Bell's, is like literally just like a proximity.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you really want to go to this restaurant, you got to drive an hour into nothingness.
Yeah.
In order to eat this.
And that still, I think that the popularity and the information happens so fast and moves so quickly when a place is good, that it's like even an hour drive is only going to deter so many people.
I know.
Like that's but you're right. I mean, you're right. That is the best way because it's without being like upfront about it. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, we bought this beautiful building and we just thought it'd be great to do it here, instead of being like, yo, you're whack, you're not coming here. It is. I think there is some of that, but I think that it only deters a very small group of people.
Is it illegal to turn somebody away at a restaurant based on their appearance?
I don't think it's illegal, but I think it's something that could cause.
But you could get a lawsuit or something. Maybe.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you say if there's a dress code and then you let somebody in with, you know what I mean? It's like
I know. Well, I just going back to like the club politics. Like you go to the club and there's a door person there, and you're going to Berghain, and a person looks at your outfit and reads your aura and says, "Not today, Queen."
That can happen. Yeah, that'll happen. I mean, that happens.
So why is it okay at a nightclub and not at a restaurant? If I got an 8 top and I see them walk in and I'm like, this table is gonna suck fucking ass. I don't like them. They have bad attitudes. They're not gonna spend money.
Well, no, it can't be attitude based. It has to be, the only way you can police this is with a dress code that is published on your website, and even then, that becomes a weird struggle because
that doesn't get the job done for me.
But that's the only, you can't. I mean, you could do it. Your restaurant's going to close in 6 months. I mean, you could definitely do that if you want.
Or like there's that place, Sam's Place, not Sal's, but Sam's in Highland Park, and they don't have a website. They don't have an Instagram. Blah blah blah. It's just walk in only, and word will spread and Eater and Infatuation and Yelp will do stories on it, and it'll say it's this hot new cool place everyone has to go to. Eventually everyone will go there, and then the people that work there, they've done everything that they can in their mind to have a cool crowd hanging out there and not people that don't belong. And then when those people that don't belong go there, I remember I was there a few months ago, and I think I talked about it on the show about how there's a woman there, and she had like a backpack and her dog and like a water bottle, and she was dressed like she was going to a park or Disneyland or something like that, and not like a cool hipster wine bar where people are eating thoughtful chicken wings and stuff. And I started smoking a cigarette, and I was like, oh, is it okay if I smoke in here? And the people that worked there were almost encouraging me to smoke near these people that did not belong there, in hopes that they would get the picture that like, hey, maybe this spot isn't for you. Maybe you should be over at Hippo or something like that.
Well, I don't think
literally smoke them out.
I don't think Sam's in Highland Park is long for this world, but I'm glad
Why not?
that because it's just, you can't have a business like that. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, maybe in Highland
Why
Park,
not?
it's such a dump and the rent's so cheap.
If you have an influx of customers, if you have more people wanting to go to your restaurant, then you have seats for them to seat at.
Because that lasts a month. Like that demand just doesn't last long enough. Yeah, for the first 3 months you can be high on the hog and be an asshole, and then 6 months later you're gonna need that bitch and her cat to keep the fucking lights on, no matter how good the chicken wings are.
I'd like to think that there's another way. I'd like to not give in to that. I hope that you're wrong, but
well, that's why everybody opens a second restaurant, because this is what happens when you have a hit. So you want to do something. It's a proven. These guys open 5 restaurants and they all become.
I like there to be a one for you and one for them. Have one place for me and my cool friends where the people who show up with a Camelback and purple leggings are not allowed to come in for whatever reason, and then you open up your little, your taco stand or whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is a dream scenario. I just don't think that our capitalist society will allow for people to have multi-million-dollar art projects that lose money for years and years. That's just unfortunately not how the bank allows it to go.
Not yet.
Damn banks. These damn banks.
I guess speaking of places that people want to go to, all of a sudden, our friend Bieber was spotted in Glendale earlier this week for a Dijon record release hang. Is that what it looked like?
Oh, I didn't realize it was Dijon. I thought it was just he was there with his little freak homies.
I think it was Dijon related.
That makes a little more sense.
And our friend David Cho asked me if I've ever been to Dave's, and I think it's been there forever. I mean, I remember going to it, I don't know, 20 years ago, and it's just like a dive bar that has a pool table. And I think because people are still glamorizing and romanticizing billiards, dive bar culture,
it's true.
It's finally reached Justin Bieber, 7 years later. But yeah, Dave's is just a cop bar. It's across the street from the police station. So if you want to hang out at a cop bar because it has a pool table, have fun.
I mean, I think people really will go anywhere for a pool table. It's crazy. It's crazy because it's not. I played pool when I was in Jackson Hole, and when you play pool at a place like that, oftentimes, especially if Justin Bieber is there, it's too packed to even play.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't even really, you know what I mean? I'm having.
You want to talk about performative?
Yeah, like you can't. You just want to stand there with your cue and have your photographer take a couple of flicks. I get it, but you're not. Mm-hmm. You're not nasty with it. Sorry, Mikey. I know you're listening, and I know you bring your own cue with you. But like, let's talk about scaring the hose. Bringing your own pool cue.
Unless you're in Koreatown at one of those places. You can get some pussy if you bring your own cue, but otherwise, it's a host scaring activity.
Bringing your own cue. What do you think about this Lana Ethel beef? I feel like this is really something close to TJ Hart.
I like Ethel Cain's music, but I don't find myself listening to it very much.
I agree with that.
And
I agree with that.
They seem cool. There was like a thing where they found some old tweets of old Ethel where she was being, I don't know what she said, something racist or something sexist. I don't know. But Ethel Cain seems like a well-spoken and kind, good person nowadays.
I don't know about that, but.
But I mean, if you have to pick sides, it's not really a difficult decision over here. Team Lana all day.
I mean, I think it's pretty funny for them to have beef, and it's good for both of them. I think, kind of.
I think it's good for both of them, and I think it's good for them to be beefing over Big Dick Jack, you know?
I mean,
if you're going to fight over something.
I didn't know a gay guy could make women go crazy like this unless he, sang and danced.
But that's the thing. He's not a gay guy. He's a everything.
I mean,
Hole's a hole.
Technically, he is an everything. And it's very cool for them to fight over it.
He's the plus in LGBTQ plus.
That's actually true. But I wonder how
without being a crossy bottom.
I wonder if how the fans feel, like the real freaks, because I feel like this is not, this is like this kind of person isn't supposed to fight with like Lana and Ethel aren't supposed to fight. That's supposed to be for like Sabrina Carpenter and Olivia Rodrigo or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like
for Azalea Banks and Nicki Minaj to be doing,
and literally anyone.
Azalea Banks and a child that was just born minutes ago.
Yeah, but that's what I think is most interesting about it, is that like we don't usually get, even though Lana Del Rey is one of the biggest artists in the world, I think people think of her as like indie and cool.
Yeah.
Because of the way she presents herself. But once you sell out Wembley, you're not indie anymore.
That's 100% true, and I think that's a testament to her power that she's able to sell out.
Definitely.
Literally Wembley Stadium, biggest place in the world where the biggest acts in the world perform, yet still has that indie feel, is still releasing music where the cover art is a photo that she took on her phone the week before. She'll go work a shift at Waffle House just because she wants to, not because
that's performative. Come on now.
Sure, it's performative.
You talk about going to restaurants for content. How about working at Waffle House for content? That's a further step, maybe.
Sure, I agree. But I want to know how that gator wrestling husband feels about all this. I would be bummed.
I bet he's saying some shit that he don't want to repeat in public. I'll say that. I bet he's saying some words that he can't say.
Yeah, but also those Florida boys, they kind of play a little different. I think he's probably turned on by it, not necessarily in a cuck kind of way. Like he doesn't ask her for dick pics from him, or like, do you have any like videos of you giving him head or anything like that? I don't think he's doing that. I think he's just he's a little bit of an open guy himself.
Definitely.
He's sort of an unk to Jack in so many ways.
I think he's had sex with a man as well.
Yeah, for sure. But in more of a recognized game, like I get it, mama kind of way, versus like, why, like I thought we were married, and like, why are you beefing with a girl over your ex? Like that doesn't reflect well on my swamp daddy ass. But I think he's kind of turned on it by it a little way. I remember a friend of mine in high school, his parents were like kind of river folks, like go down to Havasu, beach partying, go to the lake drinking beers, like those,
hell yeah,
kind of a Tommy Bahama-y parrot head kind of flavor. And I remember the dad, when like all of our high school guys would come over, and it's just like shirtless gay dudes covered in tattoos wrestling each other, unsure what to do with themselves instead of drinking or smoking. And the dad would come over to us and be like, I love it when you guys come over. My wife gets all fucking horned up when seeing all you young boys tatted up running around. And I think there might be a little bit of this in play where you guys can, Lana, she's over there, she's fighting, she's talking about blah, blah, blah. And then he makes you smell his finger. He's like, and I just tapped it this morning, brother. What's up now?
What's
Gator
up
style,
now?
Bitch. So he's saying,
you thought, what's up now?
Pussy rising, pussy tide lifts all boats, lifts all swamp.
I think there's some. I
swamp
think
dusters.
I think that there's some truth into your twisted little approach.
What do you mean? I don't even know what I said.
I know, but I think that Swamp Daddy does like it, but no one likes it. I mean, Jack is the winner as always. Jack wins again.
Yeah, but he another night alone with another pass around party twink or another 17-year-old girl, he doesn't have the stability that Lana has. He doesn't have the love and the foundation.
Do you think Lana's relationship with Swamp Daddy is going to last more than 5 years?
I kind of do.
I want to. I really do want to, because I think it would be nice, but I just don't know if I can believe it. I just don't know if I have it in me.
No, I mean, I guess even something like that, it will burn out eventually. To me, there's some similarities. When Angelina Jolie first started dating, what's his name, Landman?
Oh, Billy Bob.
Yeah, Billy Bob. Like the first year, Billy Bob and Jolie were dating, and it was like age gappy, and everyone was like, "Why is she the hottest woman on planet Earth?" You know, basically.
It's funny because I don't find her
drinking milk out of his dish every morning type shit.
I don't find her attractive. I know she's like beautiful, but I don't. She's too scary. She looks mean.
Some guys are into scary pussy.
Of course, no, of course. And Billy Bob is his own. I mean, Billy Bob's cut from.
Or she looks mean.
No, she just looks like the kind of person that run you over with her car, like Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I'm not. I've never.
Wait for the problem.
I don't know. She doesn't. Angelina Jolie doesn't do anything for me. Never has. I find it. I've never seen her in a movie either. I don't think. Maybe.
Well, I mean, what about Sossaman?
Shannon Sossaman?
Yeah.
Well, that's a legend. That's different. I like
when
someone burns out bright, is what I'm saying.
In their younger iterations, they both had a little bit of a similar aesthetic, you know, like pixie cut kind of.
Angelina Jolie did do heroin,
and
is
alt.
all the stories that I've heard. So that is cool, and I appreciate that, and I'm glad that she's healthy now. But I don't. Shannon Sossaman, what I like about her is she burned out bright. She was in our lives for 3-4 years, superstar, looked great, and then just disappeared, and now has a baby that's named like Radio Frequency and lives in Silver Lake somewhere. I bet you can
shout
catch
out
her.
audio science.
I get. Oh, that's actually her kid. I didn't remember that was her.
Yeah,
but I'm saying like that. She's a
smart kid.
I'm sure you could see her. Like I'm sure she's around being a normal Silver Lake mom kind of vibe, which I appreciate the arc of her career.
Yeah, or maybe lack thereof an arc, because then when you get a Jolie who is still going, you look at her now and it's very similar to like Madonna. Like when you look at a babyface young Jolie, her and Madonna had that same kind of innocence, life and fullness in the face and the eyes. And now still pushing it,
Yeah.
The yield is not strong. The darkness is in the eyes. The skin is looking, like it just feels unhealthy in some sort of way.
It's better to get out at the top. It's better to burn out bright. But yeah, you're right. I mean, that's true. It's hard to.
Sossaman is like if Madonna quit after erotica.
I mean, Madonna's. I mean, it's really something. Have you seen her?
Madonna?
Yeah, like play.
Actually, no, I've never seen Madonna in person.
Yeah, I don't think I
mean, I've seen her like in at parties and stuff like that, but I've never seen her perform.
I don't think I've ever seen her perform either. Which is, I mean, obviously, I think the time has passed. I mean, you can physically go see her play, but
the time has passed, Mama, a long time ago. Whereas a friend of the show celebrating 20 years in the game, I was just listening to the Joe Budden podcast this morning while I was cleaning up. They were talking about the Chris Brown tour.
Dude, they talk about
how it's a celebration.
They talk about Chris Brown like he is. They talk about Chris Brown like he's the Beatles, like for real. And it's crazy. Like Chris Brown doesn't have that many hits. He just doesn't. He probably has 10 hits.
That's where you're wrong, player.
I mean, hits that are recognized by the global public, not just the kind of woman who pays $2,000 for meet and greet and brings her sonogram from a baby she's having with a different man. I'm saying like not like if you're a super fan of anyone, of course you're like, what are you talking about? They have 50 songs that are amazing. Chris Brown maybe has 5.
Well,
maybe
your whiteness is showing
that we actually know. You know what I'm saying?
There's definitely more than that.
But there's not. Like chart wise, I don't think there is what I'm trying to say. I think culturally there are many, but I'm saying like actual success
what chart?
With metrics.
You're looking at the white charts, boy.
No, I'm looking at the art. I mean, I'm sure every time he puts out a song, it gets in the top 200 hip hop and R&B, but like that's not, I don't think that's that hard to do when you're that big of a star.
Yeah, I wonder how many songs he has with 1 billion plays on Spotify.
I mean, I think he's a very talented guy, but I also think that we've gotten into this spot now where we think that like the longer you play, like I don't want to see Chris Brown play for 3.5 hours That's too long. No one should play for 3.5 hours.
I agree with that, but if he's able to sell out every single arena and stadium,
Totally.
and play for 3+ hours, every single person is on their feet the entire time. People are tapping out because it's getting too late and they have kids and stuff like that. Nobody else can do that.
A lot of people can do it, but they're not dancing as much, maybe.
Who is Taylor the only person that comes close? Taylor and Beyonce?
I mean, Bruce Springsteen still does that much, I think, like time-wise. I think, well, what I'm saying is, though, I think that it's now like a trend to do that long if you can, is what I'm saying. I don't think people are moving like Chris Brown, that's for sure, because that makes it obviously much harder. But the way they talk about him is really funny to me. It's literally like it's like I don't get it's like they're talking about someone else that I've never heard of.
I know, and to me that's why I find it interesting. I've been
same. Oh, me too.
I've talked about Chris Brown for a long time, and I think the bloom is off the rose, and I don't want to be so attached to the Team Breezy movement as I used to be a couple years ago. I've grown older and more mature, but that's why it's so interesting to me that this person who everyone hates is touring more and selling more tickets than almost every person alive.
Oh, no, it's fascinating.
With zero any help from anything, all on his own.
No, he's just got fans. It's really impressive. I agree with all of that. I just think that the like the impact of his music beyond his direct fan base is not as large as maybe they're making out to be. It's
zero.
The way that I would put it. Like, you either love him or you haven't thought about him at all.
I agree.
There's no in between.
But that means his fan base is gigantic.
No, totally.
You know what I mean?
Totally. And we're not really making him like that anymore. The guy who can sing his ass off and is good looking and dances is not really where we're at culturally.
Hell no.
So he does fill he fills a large void. And I would like to know what the demographics of these shows are. I would love to know the age. Yeah. If it's all people our age, if there are young people that have like embraced it, because there's not much like that anymore. I think there's
a lot of young people there. A lot of young people.
I mean, there must be,
especially out of the country, like in Europe and beyond.
Yeah.
I think Finland, it's a bunch of fucking 16-year-olds because they're like, I don't know.
Yeah, they don't.
I don't even know who Ronnie. My grandma listened to Rihanna. I don't know.
Yeah, they don't know any of that. They don't know any. But yeah, it is. I mean, I do think he will never be accepted in any sort of mainstream way, and it's powerful to not need that.
He's a black Fugazi.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
except his concerts aren't $5.
I was about to say, and I bet you can buy
adjust for inflation.
Non-bootleg merch over at the Chris Brown show. I bet you don't have to get the t-shirt in the parking lot.
Okay, so I'm going to be going to New York in a few days. We're doing some events with our good friends at New Balance. We're going to do a live podcast. We're going to have a little friend activation, a little DJ set.
Yeah,
you excited, Chris?
I'm excited. I mean, I have a big week next week, so I'm
Oh, okay.
We're moving, you know. So there's a lot happening right now. But
moving on up.
But it's
Chris got a little bag. He about to have a house with windows in it.
It's crazy, bro. Life is changing. But we're gonna do that. Then we're gonna go to Chicago to talk to my old friend Joe Freshgoods at the Infatuation Eats Con, which I'm looking forward to.
Chicago, we're back up in you. Should we have another meal at RL?
Yeah, the only place. That's the only place I want to eat. I mean, I can't believe we're going back to Chicago, but this might be the last time for a little while. I'm gonna guess, but you never know.
You never know. If the Shy keeps calling me, I'll keep answering. The only part about it that I don't like is it's not a Delta city, but you know.
I agree.
Otherwise,
I agree. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for tolerating our break. I hope you enjoyed some of the reruns. We're back this week with a freaky little span of podcasts with guests. That is I would say this is truly a week that illustrates
The range.
What we do. Yeah, what we do.
I would say, to quote our friends at Radiohead, the bends will be happening if you do not prepare your body for the 1-2 punch that we have scheduled.
Yeah, but hopefully everything falls through. But yeah, a lot of things are falling into place scheduling wise for the fall. I'm getting excited. We got some good stuff coming up.
Okay. The only thing I ask as we go back to Europe, just make sure it's not scheduled too late in the day so I could edit. That's all.
Hey, man, we'll do it as early as we can, always.
Hell yeah.
All right, thank you for listening. HowLongGone.com is the website. If you did make it on the list for the New Balance show we're doing at the One Hotel in Brooklyn, we'll see you there. Infatuation, we'll see you in Chicago. If you're in Austin in September, we'll be there for the Levitation Festival. Looking forward to that. Mm-hmm. And I think that's it. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, with the Levitation, really quick, we had we were going to do a show off-site away from the festival, as well as a show at the festival. And we just moved it all onto the festival, so you don't have to buy a separate ticket or go to a separate venue or whatever. Unless you're going to come see Them Jeans and DJ Python. Which is going to be fucking sick.
I'll be there. Look, all I want to do is see if we can get Brian Jonestown Massacre to sit with us. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think Anton's super interested in podcasting, but you never know.
Anton, original DJ at Cinespace. You never know.
Okay, we have an in. That's good to know. All right, thank you for listening. Jason, I hope you had a good holiday, and I will see you next week.
Yeah, Tom.